Week 7 of the NFL season, and here in this video, we're going to talk about the London game. We got the LA Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars facing off at Wembley. The Rams will be a 3.5-point favorite. The total sits at 44.5. I've got a couple picks for you in this game, and we'll hope that they're as accurate as my analysis of the Thursday night game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers, where I gave you what did I give you? Jamar Chase receptions, and I gave you the Bengals team total over. I also gave my clients a perfect 4-0 sweep last night, so they're pretty happy. Anyways, let's get into this game. The Rams come in 4-2 against the spread. Their two losses could have easily been wins. They lost on a blocked field goal against the Eagles, and then they lost in overtime against a banged-up San Francisco team that they probably should have beaten. They come into this game with some injury concerns at wide receiver. Puka and Atwell are both injured. Puka is questionable. Atwell probably is going to play. It sounds like he was able to return to practice. I don't expect Puka to play in this game. And we got to think about what that opens up in the player prop market if their leading receiver that takes so much of the targets is not going to be active. And I think the main beneficiary would be the tight end, Higbee. After the injury to Puka last week, Higbee had season highs in receptions and yards. He had 4 receptions for 40 yards after the injury to Puka last week. His yards total sits at 28.5. So that's something I'm keeping my eye on is Higbee's over 28.5 yards. Matt Stafford, of course, leads the NFL in passing. He's got 1,684 yards, 12 touchdowns, 12 picks. He's putting up MVP caliber numbers. Will the Rams miss Puka if he can't play? Or is it Matthew Stafford that makes the magic happen? I think it's probably a little bit more of the latter. Certainly they'll miss Puka if he can't play, but I still think Matthew Stafford can get it done. That said, this stadium of Wembley is not like Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's not a brand new modern facility. It's an older building with a natural grass surface. And these games at Wembley have been known to be low scoring at times, despite the fact that last year the Jaguars put up a bunch of points in this building. The Rams rank 15th in the NFL against the run, so just an average run defense. They're allowing 108 yards per game. They do have a top 10 defense against the pass. I'm leaning Rams, but we'll see if we can get there. Before I talk about the Jaguars, I got to tell you about a promotion we have available right now at wagertalk.com. And if you've been following my videos, and I don't know why you wouldn't, we're giving you winners every day. You'll probably be familiar with the Weekend Warrior all weekend long for just $49. That's all day college football, all day Sunday NFL. We'll even throw in Monday night football, all for $49. I'm hitting over 70% now with the 4-0 card on Thursday night. 70% this season and 72% dating back to last year's playoffs for me with the NFL. That's good enough for number 2 at Wager Talk. I'm pretty happy about that. We're expecting to do quite well this Sunday. So if you want to join me, it'll only cost you $49. But as always, there's no purchase necessary. You're more than welcome to come in here and just soak up the free picks. I do ask that you take the time to smash the like button. And if you've got anything to say to me about this game or any other game on Sunday or even college football, I always entertain the comment section. I'm one of those guys that will get back to you. If you say anything in the comments, I will reply. And if your comment is interesting enough, I'll even pull it up and show everybody, which is what I'm going to do now. Let's have a look at some of the comments I get from week to week, from day to day. We got King David, Richard King David, I believe this guy goes by. He says, yeah, man, it's definitely luck. You know what drew me to you at first? You look exactly like my uncle with your smile when going into your videos. First time I literally thought it was him. So I predict my games differently. I blend in wisdom to predict games. If your guys, in your guys' case, you can say the spot or bad spot or good spot, if you know what I mean. I put them all together in one. Wisdom hit me like a truck in this game, because I noticed bettors are on the home dog, division rivals, including you people. I'm assuming he means the cappers at Wager Talk. He goes on to say that I look like his uncle. So his uncle's clearly a good-looking fella, or was, because he's no longer with us. And you know, God rest his soul and all that stuff. But he was betting on the Steelers last night because myself and all the other Wager Talk guys were on the Bengals. I don't think that's sound strategy. And yeah, hopefully it's a lesson learned, but I certainly enjoy the comment and appreciate what this fella has to say. Let's move on to the next guy. Now, here's a guy who just comes bam and gives me this statistical breakdown of the Texas Tech Arizona State game. I gave out a free play on Arizona State. I believe at the time they were catching 9 points. And I said, I only make the bet if Sam Levitt's healthy and without limitations, because they're going to need him to be at his best to cover that spread. And his analysis is bang on. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'll just say statistically, he's absolutely correct about everything he's saying. He provides all the data because by the numbers, Texas Tech runs them over. There's no question. But my complaint about this, or I shouldn't say complaint, my criticism of this is it's a job half done. You don't just handicap games by the numbers. That's halfway there. Then you got to look at the schedule. Who do they got on deck? What game are they following? What did they do last week? You got to examine the travel, the motivational, situational. You got to go into the emotions and the psychology. And there's a lot of factors beyond the data and the numbers that you got to consider. I mean, for example, you see Penn State go to UCLA and lose outright. What was the data that showed that was going to happen? It wasn't data. It was, you could have predicted that perhaps, but not through data. So that's my criticism of this. And sorry for being long-winded, but hopefully you guys learned something while you're here. Let's get back into the free pick, because we know that's what you're here for. The Jaguars 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. They're off a 20-12 loss at home against the Seahawks. Maybe a letdown spot after they beat the Chiefs. Jacksonville won 32-16 over New England at Wembley in this building last year. So they scored 32 points, but they didn't do it with their passing game. They ran for 171 yards on 39 carries. That wasn't Trevor Etienne. That was Tank Bigsby, who's no longer with them. Trevor Lawrence, he threw for 193 yards and a touchdown on 15 of 20 passing against the Patriots. The Jags defense, just terrible. 29th versus the pass, 256 yards per game allowed on average. They do have a top 10 run defense, though. And they're going to get a lot of support in this game. It's like a home game for the Jaguars. They play in London every year. It's a shorter travel for the Jaguars, so that's an advantage. I lean Rams, but I'm not going to take them. The Jags, just their schedule kind of sets off alarm bells to me. Wins over the Panthers, the Texans, the 49ers, and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs game, I mean, it was a botched snap that Lawrence was able to run in for a touchdown, so that was quite fortunate. So what I'm going to look at here is I'm going to go with the under. Like I said, this natural grass surface, potential injury to Puka. I don't think the Jags are going to run up the score by any stretch of the imagination. I think both teams might lean on the run a little more than they usually do. And 44.5 just looks like kind of a high number for Wembley, but that's not the main play. I like the Higbee over 28.5 yards a lot more. Of course, you might want to wait on some additional information on Puka, but I'm pretty confident he's not going to play. That appeared to be a serious injury. He hasn't yet been able to practice. So Higbee over 28.5 yards is what I like the most in this game, and I'll throw in that play on the under 44.5 for half a unit or so. If you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you've got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can.